Right, so now we're going to do some stab sounds. Generally for stabs, I like to use massive. So yeah, the basis of this is that we want to create a harmonically rich source, so something that fills the entire spectrum, and then we're going to filter through it really quickly with like a low pass. This is going to give us quite a rich sounding stab, and then yeah, apply that pitch down technique as well for some extra kind of punch to it. So we're going to create a nasty little average riff. So we're at 172 BPM. Yeah. So something really bad. Cool. Okay, so first things first, choose an oscillator. We're going to go for Scrapyard. Those of you who know Massive will be well aware of this awesome wavetable. I'm going to choose it about there because it's got a nice kind of layout of top end harmonics, which, as I said, we wanted to create a really rich source to filter through. So the first movement is going to be a low pass. So I've got the oscillator here, and it's being run through these two filters and into the output. So the first filter we're going to use is a low pass. So with this applied, this envelope applied to the filter, the extent to which is controlled by this ring, we're gonna hear the sound start here at full, letting everything through, and then quickly run down here. So at this point it's in time it's letting everything through, and when it reaches this or this point, oops, so I just take this filter out, the envelope off, you see it start to attenuate all the high frequencies. So yeah, we're gonna bring that up. Now to accentuate the sound, the movement of it, we're gonna add some resonance. So this creates a little, again, I'll take that off. So just above the cutoff frequency, it's adding, actually just below the cutoff frequency, sorry, it's adding some volume to that frequency area. And the effect of that is that it kind of exaggerates the movement, so wherever it is, it's being boosted, and then everything after it's being cut. So that's how you achieve that kind of wob sound that you hear quite a lot. Right, so to thicken up the sound, we're going to distort it, but make sure the distortion is routed before the filter here, because they have very different sounds. Before and after. So it's important you have the side shaper beforehand, because highly resonant stuff running into distortion units generally sounds pretty bad. Okay, so that's our first bit. We're going to apply another envelope here really quickly to add some attack. So right at the start of the sound, as well as being controlled by this second envelope, this slower one, having a really quick one add some attack, so we can start to see the higher harmonics kind of come back in there. Okay, now we want even more high frequency content before the filter. So we're going to add in a second oscillator, this sonic one, which is pretty cool, and we're going to FM it. So a version of it 2 octaves up is being created, and we're having it frequency modulated. I don't really know the ins and outs of FM that well. Certainly not well enough to explain how it does what it does, but the result of modulating this oscillator with this one is the creation of more harmonics, and the higher the pitch of it, the higher these harmonics are. So it kind of adds a grittiness to it that it didn't have before. Okay, now it sounds a little bit static, so to remedy that, we're going to create 5 versions of the sound and put them at different pitches. So we've put the unison up to 5, and then we've moved the pitch cutoff so that they're deviating by this amount. So that's loads of deviation, that's no deviation, and this is a little bit. So actually make that a bit quicker. So we're just putting a macro on here for some variation if we wanted to automate through it. Okay, so another modulation is going to be, we're going to quickly pitch down the sound at the start of every note. So this envelope is now being applied to the pitch of all 3 oscillators, and it's important that we do it to all of them so that they remain harmonically related, well, and at the same notes and stuff. That's a reverb to kind of give it a certain real quality. We add some noise. It's not really making it any better, actually. You kind of play with these warp settings maybe to. Sounds better before. I see it as a more solid low end now. It's pretty badass actually. Maybe apply the macro to the level as well. Yeah, you get the idea. And maybe save this patch as DL bass session. Stab session. So that we can use it in a riff later on. All right, cool.